For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Yeah, you see me, got it done. You know what I mean? Not with the flow no more, you know. They gonna come in next. But check this out though. Yesterday they had actually, the Democratic presidential debate in Nevada, and they had a newcomer on stage, and Mike Bloomberg, former mayor of New York City, owner of Bloomberg Television, billionaire, and he was under attack. You know what I'm saying, by Elizabeth Warren, whatever, and it's just so easy to attack Bloomberg. I mean, this is somebody who supported the redlining, stop and frisk, and now it's coming out that he has all of these lawsuits, dealing with sexual harassment and discrimination. So Elizabeth Warren went in on that all night or whatever, and that's what happened. There were also protests that were going on. Shout out to Erica Andiola and Lucia Allen of the Texas-based immigrant group Raíces, who were interrupting the debates, calling out the Biden, you deported 3 million immigrants, to referencing what happened under the Obama administration. So a lot of fireworks last night. Green War graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, man. Check this out though. The Nation magazine, they actually reported that Bloomberg's campaign is actually making his staff to sign a 9-page non-disclosure agreement. And this shit is so broad that it actually prevents them from, reporting incidents of like racism and discrimination or things of that nature, whatever. Definitely could prevent them from reporting any incidents of like sexual harassment and misconduct. So it kind of, on another hand, you're a billionaire, you're just used to NDAs covering your ass too. So it, I wonder how many other presidential campaigns do such a thing. Seems like you shouldn't need to, right? Like, I don't know, that's a little bit of a shaky situation, but you definitely won't want to cover your ass, or at least keep your own team from taking you down in this campaign, right? I don't know, what do y'all think? Green War graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. I've been telling y'all what's been going on in Syria, and specifically in the province of Idlib, supposedly the last rebel-held province, and that's why the Russian-backed Syrian offensive has actually been launching attacks there, and has actually forced hundreds of thousands of civilians to actually flee. They're going towards the Turkish border. Well, at the United Nations Security Council yesterday, the UN Humanitarian Affairs Chief, Mark Lowcock, basically pleaded to the UN Security Council for an immediate ceasefire in the area. I mean, he's talking about how there's like 50,000 people that are outside, camping out under trees in an open area, children freezing to death, and this is after them fleeing the war zone. Keep this in mind as President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, actually threatened to intervene and to go into Idlib and launch their own offensive by the end of the month if officials if they don't get it under control, and if the Syrian offensive doesn't fall back behind the Turkish military. And this received a lot of rebuke from Russia, who's actually in support of Syrian government and the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad. Green War graduate. The World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Germany, actually in the Frankfurt suburb of Hanau, there was actually a gunman that 43-year-old gunman that actually went into 2 shisha bars last night and ended up killing 9 of the patrons across these 2 bars. This 43-year-old then goes to his home, ends up killing his mother and then himself. Sad situation. Apparently, it's looked like he was targeting people of Turkish and Kurdish descent, but it's being looked into as like a right-wing terror attack. And this is a week after German police had already stopped 12 people that were being 12 right-wing militia members who were basically suspected of plotting to use semi-autos to open fire on a bunch of mobs. 12 people ended up arrested in that. But this particular 43-year-old gunman used a high-power rifle. Green War graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So 3 journalists for the Wall Street Journal were actually expelled from China after Chinese government actually had found themselves having an issue with this op-ed that was published in the Wall Street Journal, basically covering the coronavirus, and it was titled "China is the real sick man of Asia." They called it racist. You had a government ministry spokesman pointing out that, or call out saying it was racist, and they're not allowing them into the country. Of course, this drew condemnation over here. Me personally, I'm not sure if it's racist. So if y'all feel like it's racist, help me out. But China definitely took offense to it, and the chief executive of Dow Jones, which publishes the Wall Street Journal, actually, apologized for it. Said they regret upsetting the Chinese people, or whatever. This comes as 2 elderly folks in Iran actually died from the coronavirus, making the first deaths in the Middle East. And this is a new strain of the coronavirus. So, Green War graduation. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Box News report. So, Donald Trump has actually tapped the U.S. ambassador to Germany, Richard Grenell, to actually be the director of national intelligence, the new DNI. Now, this person brings very little experience to the job. Little to no experience in intelligence and in heading a large bureaucracy of the government. But he is apparently going to he can be acting DNI without sending confirmation for up to 210 days, and is expected to continue to be the ambassador to Germany during this time. This is somebody that actually is like a gold star member of the Trump organization's Trump Card loyalty program. So, Trump keeps hiring people that, love him. If you kiss the ring, you might fucking get a job. Green War graduate. Report out of the world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Box News report. So, lawyers for Julian Assange. Remember the founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, who's actually in prison in London, and he's facing extradition to the United States, where he faces up to 175 years in prison for violating the Espionage Act, which is unique since he's not really a part of government, and he's a journalist, but nevertheless he's facing those charges, and he's feared for his life. So his lawyers are fighting for him, trying to block that extradition. And in this legal filing that was pushed forward to do so, it actually was revealed that Trump had, according to his lawyers, had offered him a pardon in exchange for him publicly stating that Russia did not hack the Democratic National Committee emails. Those same emails that came out showed that they were basically fixing the election to, put Hillary to the front instead of Bernie Sanders and all of that. That same shows the email is what came out. Apparently, then Congressmember Dana Rohrabacher had actually came out there and offered him that, but Rohrabacher has since been denied, saying he was on a personal fact-keeping mission. So, it sounds more like the former. You dig? Green War graduate. Out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Box News report. So, lawyers for Chelsea Manning, who used to be Bradley Manning and used to be a member of the U.S. Army, and was initially jailed for years for having leaked a bunch of documents to WikiLeaks, and has since been released, had a sex change, now goes by Chelsea Manning, actually even ran for what I believe was a congressional position up in Maryland. And then last year in March, federal court, they basically subpoenaed for Chelsea Manning to come in and testify against WikiLeaks, and she refused to do so. And they sent her to jail for contempt of court, and she's still been in jail since. And they've actually she could even stay up there as long as 18 months. But there was a filing done yesterday by her lawyers to basically demand that she be released. Green War graduation. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Box News report. So, former Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto is actually has fallen under this corruption probe out there in Mexico City. Now they're doing this probe that actually started with Emilio Lozoya, who was actually the former head of the Mexican National Oil Company, Pemex. This person was in 2012 actually a top official in Nieto's presidential campaign. And apparently, while holding that position, he accepted bribes of millions of dollars from a Brazilian construction company and a Mexican steel company. So Lozoya was actually arrested in Spain and is to be extradited to Mexico. But now that corruption probe has poured over to the former president of Mexico. So we'll see what happens. Wonder if this is coming from the top down, from AMLO, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Sorry, Amy Klobuchar, but that's out. Well, I fucked your name up, so I guess it's fair. You know what I'm saying, right? I don't know. Green War graduate. For the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So immigrant rights groups actually sued the Trump administration over inhumane, overcrowded, unsafe, freezing conditions, just unsanitary conditions that are at 8 of these border patrol stations in immigrant jail in Arizona. Now, as this was going on, a federal judge in Arizona actually ordered that Border Patrol actually provide clean mats and thin blankets to immigrants that are coming to these immigrant jails within 12 hours of them arriving. So, maybe that'll allow some buffer, to get moved forward humane treatment, for some of these people. But a lot of these migrants are also coming knowing that, expecting these conditions, but that still don't make it right, though. Green War on graduation. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, in a big win for Amendment 4 advocates in Florida, Amendment 4 was the rule that allowed formerly incarcerated people to actually register to vote, something that was banned already, and, pushed for a ban that was pushed for by Republicans, right? You don't want those fucking criminals determining who determines policy, on some level it's a fair argument, on some level, but the reality is the incarceration system itself is racist, so you just enforcing racist ideals if you push that forward, right? Now check this out, though. There was then a ban that went against it, saying that, or a rule that was put out saying that you would have to pay for all of the fees and shit that you have to pay for related to your case before you're allowed to register to vote. And that was seen as an unfair poll tax, which a federal judge had just ruled yesterday, therefore allowing Amendment 4 to just go as is. There it is. Green War on graduate.